You okay, man? You made it, huh?
Can you hear me, Dirt?
Yeah.
I apologize for that, guys. It's just so I left like an hour and a half ago to get some errands done, and the errands turned out to be way longer than I originally anticipated. You guys should be able to hear me now. I hope so. $2 per chat from the Angry Therapist. Late. Yeah, we late, and I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that we late. Yeah, we hear you. Okay. I apologize for that, guys. Normally I try to be on time for this, but sometimes stuff happens. You could tell that I had a crazy day. And you know how you could tell that, Dirt?
Wow.
Look at the title to the Addict Show. It's not even topics. It's just... It's been now my screen seems to be going out. I don't know. That's future addict problem. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Addict Show. We talk about the past, present, and future game. I got my co-host with me, Dirk Grady. What's going on, Dirk Grady?
We're almost at the end. It's almost here, Addict.
The end of everything.
Almost at the end of 18-month journey. It's almost done.
Imagine like life after that, man. We'll feel completed. $2 per chat from the Angry Therapist is cool. Just messing with you guys. I hear you guys, but once again, I definitely apologize for being late. It's been a crazy, hectic day, and I've been playing a lot of Persona 5. Like, what's funny is, before we get into it, 'cause this is gonna be a pretty relatively short show. You know what I've been doing? I know this is probably like really bad, but you know how I come up with the topics for the show these days?
What's that?
I look with the videos I've made the past week. Because I just cover so much stuff these days. It's just it's hard for me not to really figure out what's going on. All right, so hold up. All right, edit this. All right, so I think the first topic, obviously, that PlayStation 5 console increase. That's the first one. The second one, we got to talk about that Xbox deal closing.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one we could talk about is Halo 5. Halo Infinite.
Season 5.
Season 5, yeah. All right. Saving. I appreciate you guys working with me, man. I appreciate you guys working with me. But all right. Let's go straight into the show because we already late. We might as well go straight into the show. Dirt, please tell me you've been paying attention to all the stuff that's going on right now with Halo 5, Halo Infinite Season 5.
Yes, I've been paying attention to it. That trailer looked amazing, brother.
Yeah, it looks like, for the most part, like they got their stuff. They know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting.
I think so, man. I think that, because I always hear people bash Halo Infinite, but the game released really good, man. People tend to forget that. People tend to forget it released as an 87 Metacritic. If people go by Metacritic, which a lot of these guys do, it released very good. It released polished. The campaign was pretty good, but it was the only issue was the content afterwards. It was coming out very slow. But now it seems like they're in their groove. They're in a good groove, man. And Pierre Heinz, I always get his last name Hintz or Heinz.
I don't
know. Hintz. I'm gonna say Hintz. Man. They said that he was the guy to fix Master Chief Collection. So far, this content is looking pretty good, man. Yeah, man. So Halo, listen, man, the game still. I see people try to bring up Steam numbers. Hey, look at this. It's dead on Steam. Shut up.
I don't want to hear that. We ain't trying to hear that.
It's a Xbox game. It's on Steam, but it's still doing really well on console. So it's so funny how they conveniently want to run to Steam when it benefits their narrative. Like, oh, stop it.
What's funny? They won't talk about the Steam PlayStation numbers, do they?
Oh, they don't want to talk. Man, there was a guy that said, "Yo, look at Halo Infinite on Steam," and then this guy had responded to him. He put every PlayStation exclusive on Steam, and yeah, it wasn't good.
It doesn't look good, man. It's definitely one of those things that I find hilarious that like a lot of the hardcore PlayStation people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
it's like your thing is so like the brand is so strong it doesn't sell on anything but PlayStation. And if you really think about it, like the vast majority of people that buy games on PlayStation, they're still like buying only like 2%, 2 to 5% of like the actual install base, unless you're like a God of War or something. Then that's going to be a little bit higher. But for the most part, like what did Returnal sell? Like 1 million
overall. Yeah, I think it was under 1 million. I'm not sure. Let me see something. There's a couple comments in the chat.
Get them.
No, like some of them aren't bad, but Mike Johnson said it had a lot missing. It did have some stuff missing, 100%. But the core game that dropped was still pretty solid. The multiplayer was pretty solid. Yes, they had some stuff missing like co-op campaign and Forge and some other stuff that was previously in the games when they dropped. But I don't think that's just a Halo issue. If you look at today's games, a lot of games drop missing stuff, man. So let's stop acting like it's just Halo, bro. Stop it. Stop.
I can't.
It's a gaming problem, not a Halo problem. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
There's some developers that's done it better, but for the most part, like when we just compare launch, they had a good launch.
Yeah, they did. They had a good launch, man. The game, the gameplay has always been solid. It's just, it was definitely missing some modes.
Yeah, I always felt like what they should have done, and this is just me personally, when I was playing Gear. Let me get this super chat real quick. I don't know what currency that is. Maybe you know.
I have no idea.
But 50s mock student 4364. Love your videos, guys. Thank you for the amazing content. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I'm saying, so you say, no, I agree games shouldn't be missing anything. But that's the world we live in today. I'm not just
capping. He wasn't defending it. He was saying it's not a Halo issue. It's an industry issue.
Right. I'm not defending Halo. I'm not, bro. Okay.
You want to talk that smack, Forte? Come up in here and talk.
Listen, Battlefield launched terrible. Battlefield launched terrible, but I still feel that Halo gets more stuff than Battlefield does. So, there's so many games that launch unfinished, broken. I mean, like these games with multiplayer, some games without multiplayer. People, talk about games like what's the game? Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That launched shaky. It wasn't.
And that's a single player game. And
it wasn't really missing stuff, but they're adding modes later. They're adding 60 FPS modes. They're adding stuff that should have been in the game at launch. So this is not just a Halo or a Battlefield issue. It's a gaming industry issue right now. Let's be real about that. Cold Silverhand said, "Where's factions?"
Yeah, ain't nobody want to talk about that. Yeah. What's funny about when it comes to the faction thing, I'm still waiting for you, Forte. You come in here with all type of ain't missing nothing. But when I say where you at, you ain't nowhere. Nah, I'm joking, Forte. Look, at the end of the day, I do feel like, because when I played the story of Halo Infinite, I felt like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a me problem. But at the very beginning when they were doing there was like a map on Halo Infinite. And, I felt like they should have divided because part of the mystery is what happened that led to Chief being defeated. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like they should have separated that map, kind of like they did in Fallout and Far Cry 5. And a part of the map should have been dedicated to another part of the Banished, or like a general.
Like his boss.
And imagine like when you start doing it, it does a backstory. It's like this is what he did. This is how he fought against it, and it's like this is one of the key components that led to the Marines losing that war.
Yeah. Yeah, like every like person will have like a different boss or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that would have been like really solid. Like that's just me personally. And you have to do enough havoc where his elite troops come out. You know what I'm saying? Like I just felt like Halo Infinite's story was fun. It just felt very foundation like. It didn't feel like it was filled in a lot.
Hey, let me ask you something, because I saw somebody mention Destiny in the chat. How did Destiny release?
Not a lot of content. Destiny actually here recently, the past couple of years, they've gotten better at telling a story. But initially, they were really bad at that too. Like they were having a really hard time doing anything, really, in the whole gaming space. All right,
That's a question. Like that's a question because it still feels like Halo gets it more than any other title, any other franchise. Honestly,
and I think it's because people expect more from Halo to a point.
Mhm.
Like it's one of those big gaming icons that could be completely not justified, but at the same time, I would rather be a brand that people expect more from me than a brand that people expect nothing from, like Factions. like, like, oh my god! Well, actually, you know what? We gonna talk about that too because we didn't really talk about that last week, did we?
Yeah, because we missed last week. Factions was a big topic for like a couple weeks. Yeah,
we gonna talk about that, and I want to apologize to the people for last week too. Let me give you a brief summary. I was just burnt out. I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. It was just like I woke up. I made that video that day, and I was like, I'm gonna get me like an hour or two of sleep before the Addict show. And then I woke up like 30 minutes before. I felt horrible. My sinuses were going crazy, and I'm like, I need to take a me day. I was like, I was struggling. I wanted to talk. I love to come in here and talk that smack with that Factions with Dirt, but it's just like that energy wasn't gonna be there, and I just didn't know if I could realistically keep that energy going in there, man.
yeah.
And I wanted to, man. I wanted to.
I get it, bro, because I do. I damn near do podcasts 5 days a week now, bro. It's like I got 2 on my channel. I do this one. I do one on my boy Shaun channel on Friday. So really, the only day I'm really off is for Tuesdays. And
That's why I tried to get
I
you
got
up
a
out of here
podcast
like an
right
hour.
after this one, bro.
Where are you going after this one?
Like like one of the homies, Ray, he got a little podcast. He asked me, I said, yeah, come on, man. So I'm like,
when's it start?
I think 8:00 my time.
Okay, so you have a little bit of time.
Yeah, I gotta give me something to eat in between.
Yeah, so that's why I tried to get you up out of here in like an hour. Talk.
No, I actually appreciate that, bro, because if your podcast would be like 2.5 hours every Wednesday, I don't know if I'd be able to do it, bro.
Yeah, we the only time we ever hit 2 hours is when it's been a crazy week.
Yeah,
and part of the reason it's only an hour and a half tops is because we only stick to us two. We rarely have a third person in there.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if there's like a really good, interesting topic and we can have
cool.
a good perspective of the third person, I'll bring a third person on here. But I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want to deal with a third person. I'm keeping a buck. I do a podcast called Planet X Walks with Smooth all the time, and every time in the chat, people are like, "Well, why don't you get a third person here?" Because I don't want to deal with a third person. It's hard enough dealing with when Smooth can do something. You want to add a third entity onto that?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
And not to I do a podcast every week that is like 3 podcasts everyone does every week.
It is. Bro, where Onlos will go 2 hours before I hit the first topic. I'll be like, how do y'all do that, bro?
Officially announced it yet, but we got these chairs now.
Oh, those sweet, bro.
Yeah, I don't know the name. They sent all the members of ILP one. It is called Harworth. Okay, I'm gonna put this is the pronunciation. Someone tell me how to pronounce that. You guys know I can't pronounce for nothing, and that's fine. See, here's the thing. Here's the difference between me and other people. It's harder to troll me because I come out openly and admit it. I'm like, my pronunciation is trash. So what you gonna do? I have weaponized myself. I took the bullets out of your chamber. You shooting blanks because I got the weapon. Yeah, so but this thing is like interesting. Like I feel like at first when you look at it, because it's smaller than my last one, it doesn't really look like it's going to support my weight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got this like real Hallworth. Okay, whatever. Hallworth. It's got like this lumbar support, and like this thing could go back like crazy. It really be convincing me that I'm gonna break it. Look at this.
Oh, there you go.
So that's why I don't be doing that very much. Yeah. So it's just we got a lot of a show to talk about though. So let's move on. Halo Infinite is not like a whole lot to talk about. Halo Infinite. I do think that we're gonna see some really good, strains forward. I hope that they're able to use the momentum that Halo Infinite's giving, where we can slowly, maybe I'm wrong, Dirt, but maybe we could see, a full. Because right now, I think we're in that weird spot where Microsoft doesn't know if they want to. Because when you own stuff like Call of Duty, stuff like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, you don't need Halo front and center anymore. So I think that's what they're looking at. They're like, do we really need this right now? And I'm concerned for that. I want Halo to always be around. Maybe not in the way that we see it, but I do want the Halo brand to be around.
I disagree with you though, Addict. I believe they know they still need Halo. It's just that because they have those other IPs, they can definitely take their time with Halo. In the 360 generation, it was Halo every 3 years, like clockwork. Infinite took longer, but I don't think they're just going to do consistent content. Hopefully, they'll do a new campaign because I would love a new campaign with Atriox. If you saw the end of Halo Infinite campaign, I really do want them to do another campaign, but I just feel that it's just they know Halo is still important to Xbox, and they want that. They want Doom. They want Call of Duty. They want Wolfenstein. They want Halo. They want all of those franchises to remain relevant.
I think the reason that I say that they know they don't necessarily need Halo, it's not that they've always needed Halo to carry the whole ship. You know what I'm saying?
They did in the past.
But I think now Halo can just be one of like the engines. It don't got to be the ship anymore.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
It could be one of the things that
don't need them anymore.
Yeah, I think that's probably their mindset. It's like not necessarily we don't need Halo. We don't need Halo to define Xbox anymore. We need Halo to be a solid experience that drives people to our platform. But I would say they look at more stuff like Elder Scrolls, Starfield, stuff like that. They're looking on equal terms as Halo. Like we're gonna make sure that these games all deliver and they come together and form the Infinity Gauntlet and snap PlayStation away.
Now I agree with that, but at first I thought you were saying that Xbox felt they don't need Halo, because I didn't agree with that, but I do agree with what you're saying. They have all these huge franchises, bro. Like you said, it become the Infinity Gauntlet, bro, and just
I do think their biggest thing is they are worried on maybe they overreach with Halo too much, and maybe if this next Halo doesn't captivate, it doesn't bring more of the audience back, I do think we will see probably a whole all next generation no Halo, the whole generation. I think they'll put that on the shelves for at least 3 to 5 years, just so people will forget the 343 reign, because if 343 don't do it this next game, they'll still be called. I don't know. They might even change the name. I don't, because here's the thing: people you got to get rid of 343. The people that can handle Halo to what you expect Halo, the only company right now is 343. The problem is the management is, I feel like sometimes they don't know how they want to Halo to be. I've always felt like it. And I don't know how about you feel, Dirt. I've always felt like they've let the the community make Halo. They've never stuck to their own guns. Every time they do something and the community don't like it, they'll pull back and do something else. Okay, you don't like our vision for Halo 5. We're gonna abandon all that and start again with Halo Infinite.
I don't know. I feel that 343 they get a bad rap because they're not Bungie. Now they've not like Halo
What's
4.
funny is the people that say why isn't Bungie making Halo? They're the ones that hate Destiny.
It's funny how that goes. But with me personally, I loved Halo 4 campaign, but I didn't care much for the multiplayer. For part 5, I loved the multiplayer. I thought the campaign was average.
Exactly same. And I thought, me logically thinking, you've made the best Halo it could be. It's just you put sections in every game. Like take the single player narrative aspect for 4, take the multiplayer and define it for 5, slot that stuff together like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you got it. It's good. You got dinner. Like,
what do you mean? Don't go down this route, Forte. What do you mean? Don't go down this route? Because my opinion, my route. I mean, the route is my opinion. I don't understand.
The real Forte? First off,
yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, he's modded. That's the real Forte. Forte, you gonna have to come in here. Yo, I feel like Crossfire is starting to seep into you, man. I feel like Crossfire is starting to seep into you.
Hanging around ponies to do that, man.
He gonna have to be more specific on what he mean by that, because I gotta know what we gonna call Addict. What we got Black Lavender.
Yeah, they call me Black Lavender.
Call me White Coke.
Oh my goodness. There's a couple super chats, man.
Yeah, let's get the super chat. We got a $10 super chat from Adidas 20. Sony laughed at the Xbox One when they announced the media box. 10 years later, Sony's selling nothing but devices and no games. They're trying to recuperate the COD money already. What do you feel about that?
That's the homie Adidas 20. He'd be TTS and he'd be talking that
I actually agree with him. And I don't know if they're trying to recuperate the Call of Duty money, but I really think it maybe I'm wrong. And I'm fine with that. But I truly believe we're going to get to the point where people are going to refer Jim Ryan as the PlayStation Don Matrick.
Yeah. It's going to look like that, man.
Because to me, I feel like in a year and a half, once more info comes out, they'll be like, dude, whoever takes over next. I mean, you got to look where he came in from, okay? They had no games. They put all their money in investing into games as a service, and almost none of those succeeded. Like, this dude was inherited a broken ship from Jim Ryan.
Bro, you listen, whoever gets... because, all of those games as a service, they're not going to cancel them. They're already in development for the most part. So,
Forte, you got to come up in here if you want to keep fighting. Like, you have to come in here.
Part of the problem. Listen, man, I don't care, bro. I'm not saying 343 is perfect, man. Nobody is saying that. I'm saying I like Halo 4 campaign. I like Halo 5 multiplayer, and I enjoy Halo Infinite campaign and multiplayer. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying they're better than Bungie. I'm just telling you what I liked and what I didn't like.
Yeah, that's it. He never even remotely said that he liked it. He just said there's certain aspects of Halo I like on one game, and there's certain aspects of Halo I liked on others.
I don't know what you want to talk about. I mean, I'm not defending 343. I didn't say they were perfect.
I actually was defending 343 if you want to get technical.
Yeah.
Look, Bungie has issues. 343 has issues, but I feel like a lot of that's management. It's not the studio. It's not the devs. And keep in mind, Forte, man, do I really want to say this? Yeah, I do. Forte, I know more about what's going on at 343 Industries than you do. I'm not saying you don't know nothing, but I'm saying I know things. Okay, I know things. Please do. What you talking about? You said you gonna come up in here? Forte. You gonna come in here and fight with me? Huh? I don't know, man. I've been doing my jogging here lately. I feel like I'm in good shape right now, Forte. I'm in good shape. I don't know if you want that smoke. I don't know, man. I might be able to talk for a whole 2 minutes without breathing. I don't know if you want that smoke. All right, let me get these super chats while Forte decides if he's gonna run or not. $5 super chat from Drawn TJ. Hi guys, Shaun internet was trash this morning, so I told him PlayStation is selling you a router. It's the PlayStation 5 Slim.
Oh, you calling the slimmer router? Shout out to
I
John
think
TJ.
as long as like the aesthetics look pleasing, I do think it's going to be a better thing than the current one we have now. Because that PlayStation 5, like the physical edition, it's just too big. It is. It's how like it's so big that when I have it right here, it literally blocks. It's like right here. It comes up to like right here on my camera. I have to move it. I can't have it here. See what people don't know. My Xbox is right here. It's under it. But see, you don't know that because it's short enough where it's off camera. Not the PlayStation. That bitch is in the middle of it. Oh, Forte's here. Let me get these super chats before we pull him up in here. Okay, $5 super chat from the Angry Therapist MD. IOP is a full work day plus overtime. I love it though. I appreciate it. You know, let me point something clear. I never in my dream expected that show to be that long. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, let me get this real quick. We got $5 super chat from Jay Rambert. People got to give Pete Hines a chance. He's only been the studio head for a year, I think. Pete Hines? We'll see. No,
like you talking about Pierre Hintz.
Oh, Pierre Hintz. Is that someone from PlayStation?
No, it's the guy from 343.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. This is replaced. What's his name?
Yeah.
All right. Forte. I'm even blow it up and put you on the high end. So
I get the full picture. Okay,
you get the full picture. I'm gonna pet my kitty while you talk.
Oh man, it's a real rat you got there.
Hey, don't call my cat a rat. This is a cute rat, okay? You wish you had a rat that looked like this. Look at that. Look at those eyes.
Cat's making me itch, man. That's all. I think I'm allergic to them. I'm just messing around with you. First of all, how are you guys doing today? It's a great show you're having today.
What's happening? What's on your mind, man?
There's nothing on my mind, man. I'm just listening.
No, there's definitely something on your mind.
No, man. Everybody knows how. Listen, man. Everybody knows Halo is like the soft spot for me, man. It's like whenever someone. I'm not saying y'all ain't right because the game is actually really good now. I played it recently, and I really like the direction they're going in. I just can't get over the fact of how that game was treated 2 years ago, man. It's nothing anybody can tell me that game should have came out. Like, yes, the campaign was good. I actually liked it. I beat it. I played the multiplayer. Multiplayer was fine. But there was just too many things that was like, that game should not have been, it should have been celebrated. It shouldn't have been like, oh, it's missing this, or it has this, or this is an issue. Yeah, it was just so many things about that game that just should not have happened that just made me upset at just direction. And I still feel to this day that game was brought out in 2021 just so they can actually celebrate a 20th anniversary. If it was no anniversary, the game probably would have got pushed back a little bit further, and they probably would have waited until more of the stuff comes out. But that's just my own little, TFO hat opinion. So it's not that I dislike. It's not that I disagree with you guys on it. It's just that with that game being literally my second favorite game of all time behind Mass Effect, I just have a high standard for that game, and I feel like it just hasn't been lived up to, at least for the last 2 games. I think Halo 4 was actually really good. I think people give that a bad rap just because the multiplayer didn't stand up on previous Halos, and I think that was just their first foray into actually getting into it. But the campaign was amazing. Like some of the best, it's still one of the best looking Xbox 360 games that looked really like if you played it today and it looks great. Halo 5 is a whole other issue. I don't think the game was a problem. I just think the marketing was just terrible around that game. But it just didn't do they didn't do any favors. It's not that it's just a 343 problem, it's an Xbox problem with that franchise. I just feel like at a certain point, just like, what are we doing? Why is this game of all your games the one that is like the sacrificial lamb when it comes to like the overall quality of it? Because Halo's always been about that, and it just seems like recently, not even recently, for like the last 2 to 3 games, that's been a problem. And I never will ever say that because of Halo isn't made by Bungie, because I think Bungie has their own issues. And I didn't even like, I gave Destiny crap when it first came out because the game was nowhere near what it was supposed to be. And I was looking forward to Master Chief Collection coming out in 2014 and literally being the game that was like, okay, when Master Chief comes out in November, I'm out. I'm not playing Destiny no more. I'm getting out of here. And then we know what happened with that game. And that was kind of it for me when it came for Halo and just my overall like trust in 343 with it, because I felt like Halo 4 was good. Master Chief Collection was a complete disaster, and I don't understand how that even happened. Halo 5, they just didn't live up to whatever expectations they planned for people to believe in what the campaign was. And then Halo Infinite just wasn't the game that it should have been at launch. It should have been celebrated, not maligned because of the things that was missing. And that was mostly due to Xbox putting the game out instead of just letting that game cook a little bit longer. Was the game good? Yeah, because Halo was always a good game. There's nothing really wrong with it. I just hate, I don't even want to say the word hate because I don't want to make it seem like I hate that you said what you said. It's just that people celebrate that game like it was really nothing wrong with it. And it's like, no, it was some issues with that game.
I didn't say it was nothing wrong with it.
No, not you. This is just my overall, overall thing.
I think he's just saying, it wasn't necessarily directed towards you. It was his issue with how the community handles Halo Infinite, and he was just voicing his opinion on that in general. But what's your response to that, Derek?
Well, the community kills Halo Infinite for whatever reason. Like I said, I'm not saying the game was perfect. I thought the game launched in a decent state. Was it missing stuff? Obviously, yes, it was missing a lot of things. Now, Forte, you mentioned Destiny 2. You cussed them out at launch, but eventually you went on to play that game a lot, right?
Yeah, because there was nothing else like it.
Meaning the game kind of redeemed itself. Redemption, right? It kind of... Okay, I got okay, perfect example.
Yo, you should have seen his face when you said
okay, but you got a bunch of hours in that game though, right?
Listen, this story has been told multiple times. I'm trying to tell you, if Master Chief Collection was the game it was supposed to be at launch, my time in Destiny would nowhere be is what it is right now.
Okay.
That was the only, because listen, I always tell people Destiny is the perfect evolution to what Halo used to be. It's a faster version of it. The gunplay and gameplay is phenomenal. But there was, think about 2014, there was nothing on the market that came close to what a proper Halo experience was to what Destiny was. So it was like either, hey, just stop playing games like that altogether or play Call of Duty. Battlefield 4 was out, but Battlefield 4 was still having its issues, and I was still playing that off and on. And being a main shooter, it was like, okay, Master Chief Collection is unplayable pretty much, and then we have Destiny. So if you want your sci-fi kick, that's kind of where you're going to go. So Destiny actually benefited for the fact that not Bungie, 343 dropped the ball with Halo Infinite, well, Halo Master Chief Collection. So that's where my disdain came. Now, I will instantly tell people, yes, Destiny redeemed itself, but it wasn't because it was no other option. And we always say that. Why did Destiny get so big? Because there was no other options like that out there. Okay. Now is so much competition. Would Destiny still thrive like it's thriving now if it had the competition that it has now? Probably not. It will still probably do good because it has the name of Bungie behind it, and Bungie still lives off the Halo IP. So yeah, it will probably be decently good, but a lot of people only give that game a try or even play it because of the pedigree they built from another game that they don't have anything to do with anymore. So once Halo dropped the ball, it was kind of easy to transfer over. But I understand what you're saying, but it's kind of, in my case, it's a different, unique situation why I kept playing one over the other.
Okay. Well, listen, all of this is your opinion. Opinion,
definitely.
opinion. You know, that's all it is. So, you know, there's nothing crazy, but I just feel that Halo Infinite released, it wasn't a broken game. It was just missing some stuff. It was just missing some stuff that should have been. And now all of those things are there. I know it's 2 years later. All of those things are there and some, right? They brought all back the stuff that was missing at launch. I just feel that if like the people that say Halo Infinite was a mess and all of that stuff, okay, fine. That's what you want to say. But we can say, in your opinion, you know, Bungie had a redemption story. We can say Cyberpunk had a redemption story. But when it comes to Halo, some people, now you admitted that the game is great. You played it recently. Yeah. But some people, not you necessarily, but some people still want to say, yo, Halo is bad, and they're still living off of what happened 2 years ago in their eyes. And I'm like, yo, man, if you hated the game because it didn't have
these same people will give props to No Man's Sky and to all these other games for turning around.
That's because those are fans.
Halo people say, if you said Halo, you know, didn't have this stuff, you know, when it launched, Halo 343 is dog shit, blah blah blah. Then when Halo is at the state it is now, people are like, yo, man, people looking forward. Like, yo, Halo season 5 looks hype. So why is it that it's still getting that? Yeah, it looks fine, but
because those aren't fans.
I get that, but
listen. When I say the thing, when I say what I say, I'm saying it from a fan's perspective. I'm not saying it because I hate 343 anything like that. I'm saying it from a perspective of how. Up until listen, it was kind of dicey.
He's over here straight up lying. Why you always lying?
Me and Addict had this conversation in the background. Me and 343, I just do not get that studio and how the things that happen over there because I feel like it's asinine. But no, I will give them the dub when the dub needs to be given. And the game, when I played it for the first time, like a couple weeks ago, I was like, yo, this game feels really good. But like you said with Cyberpunk, yes, people are going to give it a redemption. It shouldn't get one, but people are going to give it. This is the thing. I'm never going to be the person that's going to tell somebody that just because the game is better now means you should forget what happened in the past. Cyberpunk was utterly unplayable for a lot of people in the beginning.
I actually got into I had a lot of people attack me because I said, even though Cyberpunk has turned it around, it's still a very debatable subject if that game should be supported at all for what they came out as.
And guess what? And I bought, like, perfect example, I bought Master Chief Collection day one when it came out. Mm-hmm. I haven't, you know how many times I installed that game on my system and wanted to play it and literally went to click the icon to do it and then said, no, I can't do it.
I'm not going to lie about that.
It is all because of the one thing. It is not that the game's not good. I know that game's great. But in my mind, I feel like it took you 3 to 4 years to get the game to where it is now. So I just don't want to support it.
Ambitious.
Exactly.
Definitely a little bit
and that's the thing where I said, why be so ambitious about it? Just make the game separate so you can have different hoppers instead of trying to do this cross play thing where you can like jump from one. I mean, it was a cool concept. I really thought if it worked, it would have been amazing. I do give them props for trying to, usher a new way of playing multiplayer forward. That was a great idea. But if you can't do it, don't do it, especially with that franchise, because that's the reason people at that point were playing Xbox for. It was about Halo. It was about Gears of War still. It was about all those first-party titles that people were still in love with, the whole Halo, Gears, and Forza. And now they don't really have to worry about that. And I agree with Addict earlier. They don't have to really worry about that now because they have so many other IPs. It might have been you, Dirt. I don't want to give Addict your shine. But they don't have to worry about that now as much because they have
shine. That's fine.
Whatever, you and that cat. But they don't have to worry about it as much now as they did then, because now they have other IPs and other development houses they can lean on.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want them to give Halo basically a really, really good wide berth until they do something else. I want to see what the campaign does. If you play the end of Infinite,
yeah,
and all the stuff,
campaign,
I want to see the end of that. I do,
Yeah.
but I don't want to see the end of it at the detriment of them not getting it right the first time, and not just with the campaign, the whole thing as a whole, because I feel like Halo's one of those games that you should treat with, it should have reverence every time you speak of it. When people talk about Halo, it should be like, yo, Halo's just as good now as it was in 2017 when they had billboards lit up in Times Square for it. That's how we should be thinking of that game, not how it shouldn't even be a divide on that game. And that's how I feel about it. But go, I don't know what you were about to say, Dirk.
No. I mean, I'm just listening to like what you're saying, and like I said, it's all subjective. This is your opinion. I have my opinion. So I understand what you're saying. I just feel that, I don't want to play the it's an Xbox first party game card. I really don't.
Yeah, please don't play
that. But sometimes it seems like when it's an Xbox first party, they get scrutinized worse than any other game.
You know what I think it actually is, Dirt? I think it's not because it's an Xbox exclusive. As far as like not the PlayStation people, because obviously the PlayStation people hate regardless.
Right, exactly.
I think the reason people are so hard on Halo in particular is because it's a very loved franchise, and people get very upset. I mean, think about it. Like, even factions pretty much getting canned at this point. And we'll go ahead and move on to that now. We
we could definitely talk about that. But that he made a really good point, and you're going to move it over from there. Halo, for me, I went out and bought. First, it was a PC game, if everybody remembers. It got announced at Macworld. It was going to be a PC exclusive. Well, it's going to be Apple exclusive. Right? Yeah, Apple exclusive. Then it was going to be over to PC. I actually went out and bought a Voodoo 500 card because it was only on PC, and I was like, dude, I want to play this game. I went out and bought the graphics card that had the marketing on the back of the graphics card for that game, and then literally the next year, Xbox wasn't even on the radar. No Microsoft product at all. And then Xbox went out and bought them. And not even caring about what Xbox did, I bought an Xbox day one for that game. Didn't know what Xbox was doing. All I know is you got The Rock up here selling Xboxes, and you got what's the name pulling the cape off of the Xbox at the reveal and everything. And I'm sitting there like, I don't care about what this Xbox looks like. I just want to play Halo. And that's what it was about back then.
You know, it's funny. I told this story before, but me personally, me, the bot that I am, right? When I first heard about Halo, I was not interested. I mean, about Xbox, I was not interested at all. I'm a PS2 guy. I don't might care about no Microsoft console, blah, blah, blah. Until I played it. I played on my boy house, and I said, yo, this console is fire. I bought one maybe about 6-7 months later, and that's when I became a bot. But I see what you said. Yeah.
Xbox Live came out and ended it all the next year.
Oh my god! My first time playing online. I don't know what to do.
I think just a lot of it in general just has to do with, and obviously there's going to be haters. Like there's no denying that there's going to be haters. But I think a lot of it, when it comes to the core audience, they remember Halo back in the Halo 3 days, in that Halo 2, Halo Reach. Which is funny because a lot of the issues people have, Halo Reach actually started messing up with. And I think that's what they generally want. I'm not saying that we could never get those days, because I do think that that's definitely a possibility. It's just I think people need to be very realistic with, those days back then, it was easier for games like Halo to thrive than it is for people now.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. Focus.
All right. So, I was trying to get the focus in my head, but it's not doing it. It is what it is. All right. So, I think it's focusing.
It's focusing on the Batman sign on your chest. Take your glasses off and let it focus on your eye for a second. Oh, do you got manual focus on?
No, I don't.
That's weird. Look, man, it looks at you and says that's a pretty man no matter what. So it doesn't matter.
It's like I'm not looking at you. I'm looking through.
Hey,
You.
man, I
I'm
get
looking
super
through
chats.
you.
You want me to get the super chats while you
Yeah.
on? You put them on the screen, or you can get them.
Yeah, you go read them. I'll put them on the screen.
Hey, Rodimus with the 5. Forte, my good brother. It is 2023. Stop the 2021 narrative about Halo. It is good now.
Yeah, 2 years later. Congratulations. 2 years later. Congratulations. Guess what? That game is probably what can we buy it for right now? $29.99. So we paid full price and got half a game at launch. Okay.
Oh, snap. Man, you make other thing, man, you piss other thing off, man. Adidas 20 to 5. Fans should judge the game as it is instead of talking about how they want it to be. Over critiquing is a big problem in gaming. There you go, man.
I agree with that.
God Emperor Sofa King with the 5. All live servers go down this path. No content at launch besides Fortnite. Destiny was broken twice. D1 and D2.
D2 broke right now.
It is.
7 years in, it's broke. Well, 10 years in almost.
Damn.
And I think a lot of it just has to do with just the landscaping of the industry right now. I do agree to a point that the industry complains about too much stuff that they don't necessarily know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But influencers, consumers, that's their right. You know, we don't get access to the majority of the industry that helps us make educated opinions on stuff. Or it's like, and that's why so many people have hot takes, because we're ignorant in the matter for the most part. You know, people sit there, they say, "Oh, Halo Infinite this, Halo Infinite that." Microsoft, Xbox, how about you release a documentary on what happened with 343? But they would never do something like that. But I guarantee you, if they came out openly about the development of Halo Infinite, people would be more understanding on why it took so long and why we got the product we got.
Yeah, you're right. That's why I never argue the fact about what I think it is versus what we know. We know.
PS is down, apparently.
PlayStation is down. PlayStation Network is down.
All right, so let's get on to the facts.
Jim Ryan to cut the cable before he left.
Oh, man. What's going on?
We're 47 minutes in. Let me put that in the timestamps. Factions has been put on ice.
Hey, I just got a somebody just tagged me. I guess he's some type of insider named the Tipster. I don't know if you guys seen him.
Oh, guys,
but he has some information about it.
What? Okay. So, about what?
About factions.
Okay.
Read it to us. You good, brother?
I can read it to you guys. Okay. Jim Ryan kind of gave a bunch of studios a request to make these type of games. Naughty Dog had long considered the idea of doing factions too, but the idea evolved into something more. Ultimately, it seems like they were struggling with making the game they wanted to make in a games as a service form. Bungie were involved, but not in the way people have said. Bungie are a PlayStation studio now, so they'll be involved in a large percentage of other PlayStation studios games. Over 2,000 people worked on The Last of Us 2, for example, Part 2, for example. It seems that Naughty Dog just weren't happy with the game, and they're considering just moving the parts they were happy with into The Last of Us 3 rather than putting out a separate title that lessens the brand image in their own eyes. So don't know how true this is. This is from a guy named the Tipster. I guess maybe he had some stuff before, so I don't know how true it is.
Believable though. It does.
I think that's pretty much the case.
And it's just like, you know, people want to sit there and say, and I think from a standpoint when it comes to, you know, the mindset of someone, like if Bungie really, like, especially a well-known company like Naughty Dog, and they sit and they got this, and then Bungie popped in and be like, yo, that's trash. Like, oh no, the gameplay's fun.
Yeah,
but we ain't
making no money with this. Yeah,
we ain't funding that.
You can't make no money with this one.
Yeah, so I do understand to a point on how that would upset Naughty Dog. Let's shout out to over 500 people in the chat. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get those likes up, man. Let's get those likes up. So
shout out to the chat.
I do understand that, but at the same time, Bungie was bought for like $3.3 or $2 billion.
3.6
3.6 billion. with a B. And then people are gonna sit here and say
USD.
Yeah, people are gonna sit here and say it was bought with yen.
Be a lot less.
If
they bought it with yen, it would be a lot less than 3.6.
Yeah, so I think when you spend that kind of money, and one of the first games that they consult on is Factions, because that was probably one of the biggest hype moments that was going into that. And when you have that kind of money behind a studio, and Bungie's just like, that's not it, PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think that they were responsible for it. I think what happened was Bungie went in there, did their analysis, went back to PlayStation, was like, here's what we like, here's what we don't like, and here's what we think is going to be problems. And when Naughty Dog followed back up, they are a single player studio company. They've never worked with games as a service. Right. So when it came to defending their logic and why they're doing something like this, and that Bungie doesn't think it will work out, who do you think is going to have a better argument? The person that's been doing it for 10 years or the person that doesn't do games as a service for the most part?
The person that's been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, so I just think that they didn't have anything to say to convince them. It was just like, okay, this is what Bungie said. What's your rebuttal? They right. It's like, what am I to say? I don't know. I like it. I think the gameplay's cool, but they said you can't make money here. We probably can't. Like,
hey, Addict, can I say something right quick? I'm going to be absolutely 100% honest. I believe PlayStation, they've made single player games. They're some of the best at making single player games. That's my opinion. Next to Rockstar, they're pretty much up there. Naughty Dog specifically. I think that I think PlayStation single-handedly saw the gaming industry changing, and they didn't do nothing about it. Meaning, they saw the gaming industry moving to a more games as a service, monetization, and they just sat there and continued to make single player games because, like I said, they're really good at it.
They didn't pivot quick enough.
We always hear the example of BlackBerry, right?
If they would have went out and got those studios like 5-10 years ago, and those studios have been nurturing these online experiences from then maybe this was a different thing. But they didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the example of BlackBerry, right? Blockbuster. We hear how BlackBerry, they were just looking because they were very successful business. People love their phones. People love the keyboard. And I remember BlackBerry
I do too.
Owners, because I remember them saying when the iPhone first came out, that's stupid. Nobody wants to type on their phone, on the phone screen. I vividly remember some people I knew personally. And BlackBerry was slow to move, to evolve, and you see what happened to them. Same thing with Blockbuster. So I think PlayStation, of course, PlayStation isn't in the same position. They're not going to go out of business, but I just think they sat on their hands a little bit too long. Now they're trying to get into games as a service when the market is already super crowded. And they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do a games as a service.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. You can't argue with that at all, honestly. It's all about the timing. Mm-hmm. If we remember, even Xbox, we complained about this back in 2015 when Xbox started doing it, when they started the whole Play Anywhere initiative, and you could play your games in one place and play them in others. And I remember Shannon Loftus came out and said, our data doesn't say that there's that much crossover between PC and console, because they were trying to ease the console market and say, hey, you guys are still important. Mm-hmm. And, as time goes on, you start seeing that flip more and more and more. And it's just the fact that Xbox made a decision to say, hey, we can't do this in one place anymore. We have to branch out. We have to do more. And that's the one thing. And I said it back in 2017. I was like, when everybody was having issues with Xbox Game Pass and saying they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that, and they won't make money. And I said, if anybody can make this make money, it's Microsoft, because it's a core competency of the company The company is built on services. So why wouldn't this not work for them? So PlayStation they did not adapt. I won't even say it's really of their fault, because this is the thing, when you see money rolling in like they were seeing in 2017, 2018, 2019 for PlayStation 4, it's kind of hard to like pivot, because you see Nintendo still doing it. But the thing is, PlayStation's not Nintendo. PlayStation's good, but they're not Nintendo. Nintendo can still go out there and have antiquated ecosystem where you just buy physical copies of games and their fans like it, and there's always kids growing up. That's another thing people don't realize. There's a chance that once you're a kid, and you will always probably play games, because that's like one of the best mediums to get you entertained in. But there's a point in your life where you could go in a different direction. You could find other interests in your life that make you want to do other things other than play games. Nintendo will always have a place, because there's always a market for kids to play games. Once you get to a certain age, you might want to still play games, or you might want to go do something else. And that's where PlayStation and Xbox sits at. And Xbox is like, well, we got to find a way to make the gaming sphere bigger than where we actually encompass it right now, because like they say, it's like 300 million people that buy consoles on a generational basis and stuff, and they feel like the console market is sapped. So now they try to find other ways of doing that. PlayStation believes in the box, they believe in the ecosystem, they believe in their walled garden, so they want to find a way to make that happen inside of their ecosystem. Then Jen Ryan comes in and says, no, this isn't how it's going to work. If we want to be competitive in this ever-growing marketplace, we have to make moves. We have to change. Hence why you see 10 live games as a service games coming out. Hence why you see Bungie being purchased for $3.6 billion, because they don't have the expertise to make it happen on their own. All that homegrown stuff goes out the window when you don't have the experience no more.
Right.
So that's the biggest problem with PlayStation right now. They just don't have experience in that market, and they don't know how to do it. And this is what we said back in 2018, 2019. What happens when PlayStation realized they have to do what Microsoft is doing now? And that's what they're realizing.
Witnessing it right now.
We're witnessing it right now.
So we saw the factions thing. We saw studios, pretty much being defunded. That one, the Devotion Studio, whatever it is.
Deviation.
I think there's been a lot of changing. PlayStation Plus going up. Do you think that they might reverse anything that Jim Ryan did? Because to me,
I think they have to see. I think they'll have to. This is the thing. I think they have to see it through first.
To me, I don't think the ship's on fire, but I think the engine's done and it can't go any further. And they're trying. Here's the thing: like, you could still make a lot of money, but not all money's good money. Like, I feel like he exchanged money for some of reputation that was damaged to PlayStation, because people making your games on PC might not hurt like your ecosystem, but it definitely devalues your console. The PlayStation ecosystem grew because it went to different audiences, but the PlayStation console devalued. You got that on top. You got that. You got top of 2 years of waiting and no prominent studios. It does look like what we're seeing now makes me think that they actually struggled more during the pandemic than Xbox. It's just we didn't see it because those games are supposed to be coming out now.
I'm trying to tell the people that years ago. People kept saying, we were going to talk about the pandemic. I'm like, PlayStation ain't have issue with the pandemic. I was like, because PlayStation just happened to have games that were ready,
that was further along
in development than Xbox. Like I told you, like 2018, when they made all those purchases of those studios, all those studios released games within that first year to 2 years.
They did.
And I kept telling people, I was like, listen, Xbox ain't gonna have nothing for a couple of years from those studios. You see, the Outer Worlds came out right around that time. So when do you expect to see Outside of Grounded, which was their
2026?
Exactly. So we kept saying, like, dude, they're not gonna have the swath of games that people think they're gonna have until like 2023, 2024, because all those studios they purchased literally just got through releasing games. And we know, especially with COVID and everything happening.
And then COVID hit, right? And added an extra year.
So that's why you don't see something like State of Decay 3, or why you still waiting for Hellblade 2 to release, because they all went, especially Hellblade 2, because all their studio does is mocap, and you couldn't even get the studio.
Like that documentary they had when they were going to Iceland when COVID hit, bro, they had to stop. They stopped everything pretty much. They started work from home, but like you said, they couldn't do any mocap.
Right, exactly.
So that definitely, so I mean, but it's like,
and real quick, and that's not even just that. We're just seeing some of the struggles that they had. Jim Ryan didn't just pivot towards games as a service. He kind of restructured PlayStation towards it, because if you look at the studios he bought, what are they? Games as a service studios. He didn't really buy any studios like Remedy that makes the type of games that a vast majority of people that love PlayStation make. When you look at, if it would have been different if he's like, okay, we're buying Bungie. Yeah, Nixus. He bought Nixus to make PC.
What year did they buy Insomniac? Was that 2019?
That was
before.
So it was right before. It was literally right before Jim Ryan took over.
It's probably literally one of the last.
Who is this Brampton dude, bro? Get out of here, man! You lucky this ain't my channel, punk.
What's he saying?
Y'all know what y'all talking about. Y'all capping. Y'all just the takes on the show.
Right, hold on. I don't know why the takes on the show are trash tier, man. Bald
I guess we're not kissing PlayStation butt enough.
What about all the PlayStation shows that don't talk about PlayStation and come over there and just talk about Xbox on their show?
You know what's funny, man? Like, you don't even got. At least I'd respect you a little more if you had an anime picture. You just got the word B. Like, can't put nothing there, man. There's a Google Images for a reason. What's going on? See, that makes me feel like that's one of those those accounts that people use to trash on stuff. It's probably one of the PlayStation people that are too scared to pop up in here and say something. It's probably one of the PlayStation people that's like, oh, they don't want the smoke, so they're gonna sit there and they're gonna stay on the edge, and they're gonna come here with an impersonation. For bot. Oh, B for bot. So you are a bot. So what's going on, man? Like, I'm confused. Tell me.
I'm just wondering, Housemarque is a live service studio.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Housemarque.
Last time I know, they made single player games.
Okay, Housemarque. I'm sorry, Housemarque.
Yeah, but isn't that a single player game studio, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Last time I checked, they made Resogun, Returnal.
That's it. I think.
I get
that's
what you're
their
saying.
games.
I'm saying a vast majority of the moves that Jim Ryan did was for games as a service. It wasn't for single player games.
Yeah. Like Haven is doing games as a service.
Yeah.
So, hell, actually, their big studios was doing. We know about Naughty Dog. I believe Guerrilla is doing some type of Horizon game as
like
a service,
multiplayer game. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying every step he moved. I'm saying he did slowly build. I mean, you saw the projections and the investments they're making. When he was around, their projections was like 4 years. They had 6% of their funding going towards games as a service.
Yeah, 60%. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that shows it right there. It would be different if he just bought studios to make those and he didn't really kind of go buy all these studios. I'm going to buy Bungie, and Bungie's going to look at all these studios. But it's rumored that Guerrilla Games making some kind of games as a service. We don't know if it's maybe a co-op, maybe it's not a full-blown games as a service.
Yeah.
There's rumors that there was another first-party studio making some. If I remember correctly, was Saint Monica making something too?
Santa Monica is making one. I just can't, because
that's my point. It doesn't look like it was just these studios that were purchased for that particular reason. And
multiplayer game?
Yeah, they're making something like multiplayer.
Oh, I thought they was making a single player game.
So to me,
Who knows? They ain't telling nobody nothing.
Right.
so to me, that's an issue because what's going to happen is what happens when you have 100% of a studio and you're trying to make this single player game or the multiplayer game and the other one starts lagging behind.
Yeah,
you're gonna reallocate people. You're not working on this anymore. You're working on this now. So it is going to be interesting. And someone said Saint Monica is making 2 single player games. If they are, they are. London Studios is making
like God of War DLC, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say they're making God of War DLC. Well, I don't know.
mm-hmm.
We'll see, I guess.
All right, we talked about that enough. All right, so let's move on with this. We got the deal closing. Our life is about finally starting to
Normalize
with this deal, man. Let me get these 2 super chats real quick. $5 super chat from Mandingo McDickens. Sup, fellas? Hey, addicts. Why can't I be part of the fellas? Why do I got to be a separate thing? Am I not part of the group? Do I got to be independent on my own? What's going on, McDickens? Why is the screen pitch black in the upper right? Every so often, I see a couple really white.
Show some damn respect, Mandingo. Show some damn respect.
I just got what he meant. I was like, what is he talking about? And then it hit me.
Show some damn respect, Mandingo.
Ooh-wee.
How dare you?
Dang, man. That man said you need to stop going outside. A little too hot out there for you.
I work outside. I can't help
it. You do work outside. It's a little hot out there.
We got a $5 super chat from Stanley Buffington. The PS5 is devalued, yet is selling faster than the PS4. They went games as a service to bring a different revenue streams. Colin said this. You disagree?
Oh, damn.
I agree, but at the same time,
yeah, baby.
Is that good for the brand long term wise? If it works out,
it's selling better. Yeah, that's all y'all got. It's selling. Oh my God, the casual was buying the PS5. Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the main reason why it's doing as good as the casuals.
Congratulations. Damn.
The thing is, long term is that gonna matter? Is
that going to matter? Because if they're selling, which they're selling great, that Slim is going to sell. But let's be real, man.
Slim.
If PS5 don't sell, if Sony don't sell PS5s, they don't sell software flat out. Xbox has another revenue stream besides just consoles. The games launched day one on PC. And as you see, PC like Bethesda games, like some Xbox first-party games, you saw how great Starfield did. But, look, man, y'all have the sales narrative. Continue to talk that, about y'all sales narratives. Enjoy, because that's the only narrative y'all have at this point. But go ahead.
We're slowly inching our way to taking that one.
Somebody said that they're using their PS5 to play Twitter.
King has found your base. And we are marching there right now.
Speaking of which, Addict, do you believe that? Are they going to be an app before they're a new console in PlayStation 6? Will it be an app by then?
Yeah, for what?
You are our favorite Lord and Savior, the King. He said they're going to be an app. So do you think it's going to be an app before it's a PlayStation 6? Because he said it ain't going to be a PlayStation 6.
There's going to be a PS6 and then an app.
Oh, then an app. Well, I agree. It's going to be an app at some point.
Yeah,
I just want to know who's going to be right first.
These guys out here, they really need to just pay attention. I said this on my podcast last week. They up here focus on Starfield and Forza Motorsport. Y'all need to focus on PlayStation right now. Y'all need to focus on your house. Don't be the dirty, filthy house that's calling the house across the street dirty and filthy. Look at your own house.
Thanks.
Jim Ryan has got fired. Factions is canceled, most likely. KOTOR canceled. Deviation Game canceled. Y'all got the PS5 Slim digital that's going up in price.
You got the PlayStation Plus that went up in price.
$30 damn vertical stand. Y'all got 80. Y'all need to focus on PlayStation. What's going on in y'all house? They got thank you. Prices went up. They got PlayStation got hacked. Bungie got sued. Now y'all want to talk about X. Focus on y'all own house, man. That's what y'all need to do.
That's right. Bungie did get sued. By
maybe if
people.
PlayStation content creators that like to talk about Xbox all the time will talk more about PlayStation. Maybe these issues would be issues.
I do want to ask. I do want to ask you guys both, and I'm glad I'm here to ask you. You know, can I respect both your opinions on this?
You don't respect mine.
I do. I talk to you on the phone all the time, so I definitely respect you and help you with stuff that people don't even know about. But I wanted to ask you guys about the leaks that we had got. And it's something that I've been thinking about. So 2025, suppose we're getting a brand new digital Series X, and S. Now, if you go off of the thing, now Phil Spencer said this could change. He said stuff has changed. I don't know if this has, but do you think that Xbox will be all digital in 2025? Because as of right now, if you go off of those leaked documents, I forget one of them, the X is supposed to be replacing the X that we have now. And they say it's going to be in the life at the end of 2025. So that would put us squarely in an ecosystem where Xbox is digital only, if that was to be the case. What are your guys' thoughts?
Damn, in 2025, that's obviously a couple years from now. I still think, this is my opinion, that's too early to go fully all digital with no option for a disc drive. I mean, I would say even if 90% of people go digital, it's still that 10% that's still I can't play my games.
And plus, I think what they'll do is right now the ideal is to replace it. But if they feel like that digital thing might hit them too much, I think they'll just continue to produce the Series X's that's currently out now.
Yeah.
And they just scrap the digital X.
Yeah, no, they'll have the digital X.
Oh, they'll just do both.
They'll produce them both because
they won't.
If you think about it, the majority of the features for the digital for the new digital X, for the new Xbox Series X, a lot of those features are just because it's all digital, like Wi-Fi 6.
Yep. I just because I haven't been on the podcast to ask anybody about that because when I looked at it, I was like, I don't hear people talking about it, and I was like, because it's a very small thing, and the fact that he did say that plans have changed. I do think that having Activision as a part of your ecosystem probably will have that change because a lot of there's a large amount of people that still buy Call of Duty on a disc.
100%, yeah.
So I think that might change it itself, but it's just interesting to see that. Xbox could be the first all digital console we have in 2025 if the plans stay the same that they are. But I just want to know what your guys' opinion on that. Hope it don't come true because I agree with you, Barrett. I think it's a little too early.
It's a little bit too early. Now, if you tell me
next generation, I agree. Next
might be a strong possibility.
Might be a strong generation. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they do it next
2028. Yeah, it's a strong possibility.
I think PlayStation opened up a door that people are going to go towards. Let's make an accessible disc drive we can put in that sucker, and the base system is not going to have one, but you can buy one for additional cost.
You know what? I think you might be right. So you're saying that because the PS5 digital, well, I'm sorry, slim, well, digital or whatever, it comes with
overpriced system,
right? But it comes with the option to add a an additional disc like a US. I'm sorry, a Blu-ray drive.
HD Blu-ray drive.
I think that might be something they might do in the future. Default, all of the consoles will be digital, but they will all have that option. Just in case if you still have some discs, you might have to pay a little extra for a digital.
And I think we'll get to the point where there won't be a physical version. If you want a physical version, they'll sell bundled units that have the disc tray with the physical version.
Yeah,
with the digital version.
Adult DVD. Who watches those on all these websites we got out here, brother? DVDs.
Right. DVDs, baby.
All these smart TVs got to. Yeah, come on, bro.
One thing they don't do is put those things on Blu-rays.
Feel bad for people that get like hundreds of
I threw mine away, bro.
Hundreds of DVDs. My friend has literally wall to walls of
Well, I don't have that
DVDs
many,
and
no.
Blu-rays. And stuff.
Every time I get
It's ridiculous.
Every time I get the Blu-ray, I always buy the one
He
that
has
comes
a
with
bunch
digital
of
copy.
He has
Really?
a bunch of like anime stuff, like anime seasons to like everything you could think of. And he's like AJ. Well, that's my real name. For those of you who knew it, my real name is AJ. So he's like, I'm gonna upgrade my anime collection of Blu-ray. And I'm like, oh cool. And he's like, do you want my DVD animes? Like, I'm like, yes, send them on over. Like,
Tell that man he better just go ahead and buy him a NAS and put that stuff all on there and copy it to his storage instead of buying new ones.
Speaking of storage, man, I actually went. I bought that 2 terabyte expansion card because it was on sale, bro. It was on
Amazon.
Like no, Best Buy. Yeah,
how much?
Both.
How much?
I paid one. Was it 180 or something?
Oh, that's not that bad.
Plus, I had like 60 Best Buy dollars or whatever you call it.
Oh, you got the little, you got their card. You got their card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they got you. They got you.
They got me because the sale ended tonight, bro.
They got you for the $200 too, didn't they?
yeah, yearly. I paid a year. They got me.
I was like, man, that's if I go in here and buy a TV from Best Buy, I'm buying that $200 thing so I can get that warranty for free.
Yeah. All right, let's actually talk about it. So the deal is about to close, guys. And someone wants to know what AJ stands for, Arliss James. So deal is about to close.
I can confirm that. That's true.
Confirm what?
That's your name.
Oh yeah, obviously I'm not gonna lie about it. So the deal is probably going to be closing in the next week. You know, I would say it's a done deal at this point. Activision has literally came out and said they've had meetings about what Xbox is going to be doing when they buy them.
Meetings. Oh, they saying next week, so it's not Friday the 13th anymore.
I think the deal is up on the 18th officially. So like,
but they said that they can announce it Friday though. That's what they were saying. I don't know. Who knows?
Man, don't you dare announce anything like that on Friday the 13th. Wait a day.
Yeah, so I think that is the key. You know, I want your guys' overall opinion. First off, are they going to have their own Bethesda roundtable discussion? And second off, what is your personal expectations you want from when this deal is officially closed?
Will they have another roundtable? I'm assuming they will. With who?
That's the question. With who?
It's like good old Bobby gonna be there. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna have. That's a good question.
There's a chance that Bobby don't leave?
There's a chance, but
I'm starting to lean that way a little bit.
I think he's there for the go.
Because Bobby is literally here's to me. If Bobby didn't need to be like, if he was leaving, I feel like he wouldn't even be in these like serious conversations. Like it really be feeling like he's hyping his soldiers up for war.
Bobby might be there, bro. You're right about it.
Part of me thinks he's got to be leaving, but the other part of me is like, you know, if it came between him leaving and Microsoft not getting the Activision, Blizzard, and King company, do you think they would say, like, okay, no, we're not going to buy you because you refuse to leave? I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. Listen, Bobby about to get a bag though. He's about to get broke off some real proper. Damn, that's a good question. Is he going to be gone? That's a good question. I don't know how to answer that, man. It seems like you made a good point. It seems like he's been talking. He rallied the troops. Yo, check this out. We're gonna bring Guitar Hero back. You know, this deal is I think at this point 100% done. It's just the point of when they're gonna announce it that it's official, and I can't wait. I got a video ready to go.
Is it already recorded?
I got the receipts ready to go. I just didn't do the audio portion yet, but I'm ready for Bobby. I don't know. Bobby might be out though. I think he's going to get his bag and be gone. But then again, who knows, man?
What you think, Forte?
I think they're going to do one. I think Bobby will be sitting there. It's going to be awkward as heck, but he will be there. Bobby will be there. Yubara will be there.
Here's the thing: is he just there? Here's the thing: is he just there because he technically is like controlling that company? No,
he's going to be. He's going to be there. He's going to be there for the long haul.
Or is he there because he's going to be talking at this event? Because to me, if he's leaving, he'll just be there to show support, but he won't say a whole lot. Phil, and everyone else would say something. But if he's directing the conversation in some way, shape, or form, he ain't going nowhere.
Okay, that's a good question. Now, remember at the Bethesda roundtable, they had, I know P. Hines was there. What's name was there, and then they also had like the marketing person there. The girl, she was there, and she didn't really say that much.
Yeah,
but she was there.
Yeah,
she was there. And I don't think she said anything. Maybe one or two things. I think that's where you're gonna see Kotek just sitting there. He'll have some stuff that he'll say. He'll basically talk about how he's happy to be a part of Xbox and all this other stuff. Because I do think he's gonna stick around. But I do think Ybarra and I think Rod Ferguson they're going to be the ones who's going to be doing a lot more of the talking, especially since they'll be more familiar with the ecosystem that they're going into because they came from that ecosystem.
Right.
I think if Bobby does leave, I do think Sarah Bond's taking his place.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Because
you think Sarah would take it, or do you think Ybarra probably wouldn't want to move up?
I don't think Ybarra want. I think
because I would say Ybarra would move up, and then they would put her over Blizzard.
I think Ybarra will stay there as long as they don't like touch him too much.
Mess with it.
Yeah. Because Ybarra really did. I think Ybarra was like when he saw this go down, he's like, God dang it, I got away, and now I got to come back.
Right.
And so that's pretty much all when it comes to that, man.
Yeah,
we'll see. Next week, I think we'll be talking about the one and only conclusion of the sacred movement, man.
One more week.
Yeah, one more week. All right, let's talk about the messy thing. All right. PlayStation has shown they doing console slim updates. All right. And not only are they doing console slim updates, they're changing stuff around. You got portable disc trays. For some reason, they changed the digital version too. And on top of that, they have raised the digital edition of the PlayStation 5 by $50. So you have the 10, you have the 50. They already raised it in certain countries. So that's considered a raise. Maybe we weren't affected, but a lot of people were. And then you have the 50 that they're raising. They have technically, maybe not in every region, raised it twice. Apparently, a bunch of accessories was raised in Japan. And what's the funny part is like, we're just now coming off of like what, a month and a half of them raising the PlayStation Plus prices. And now we turn around right before Spider-Man and you just, it's like you're walking in there, you see Spider-Man, you sitting there waving, coming off the plane, like, oh, we're finally here. And then PlayStation just shows up out of nowhere.
No, you owe us more money.
Oh, look at that. Didn't the Series S get raised? Yeah, they actually added 500 gigabytes of storage. Now, I was watching Oh No, It's Alex video because I really didn't realize how much storage was actually added.
To what, the PlayStation 5?
Yeah, he was saying only
175 gigs.
Yeah,
I was like, are we really? People up here arguing. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, well, Xbox raised the price by $50 and they get and they gave you a 1 terabyte. I said it was $512.
It was
$512. Yeah. And it's the other thing too, they don't realize, going back, if we go off of these leaked documents, they did say in 2025 they were gonna come out with another system that was $299, that was a 1 terabyte. In those documents, it does say that. So, not people arguing about it now, but 2025, when that comes back around, you might be like, oh man, Xbox is the by far cheapest console out there, $150 cheaper than a PS5. So, and then let me get your super chat real quick, Addict, because it's relevant to this conversation.
And don't forget, they didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got
which
something to say.
Relative?
The Phase 23.
Did he just do 2?
The first one.
Okay, let me grab that one. Phase 23. We'll get all the super chats, but Forte wants this one right because it's relevant what he's talking about. I want to see that same energy with Microsoft releases Xbox Series X and S Slim next year, especially without an optional drive at the same price that they charged you in 2020.
So Face, I love you, man. First of all, thank you for the $20, man. It really appreciate, and the Lord's appreciated too. You always help power us, and you're a friend to the realm. But if we're going off those leaked documents, that X that you saw that's coming out in what 2025 doesn't have a disk drive, but it does have a 2 terabyte hard drive in it, which is double what the X is now. So if they did go all digital, you would think that, well, we're going to charge you the same price and we're not going to have a disk drive. We're going to double the space. We're going to give you double the space that you had before for the same amount of money. So it kind of makes sense. Whereas with PlayStation, first of all, they out here charge you $50 more for something that literally 150 gigs. That's not even enough to have Call of Duty on it by itself.
Or 2K, because 2K is 170.
170 by itself.
Man, they're being so extra here recently when it comes to PlayStation. I expect PlayStation just to be like, hold my pocket. Like,
man,
because it's just like, can we please just submit regardless? I get it. You know, we make the jokes and everything. But this might be above and beyond PlayStation 3 arrogance. Like it's one thing to do one thing here, one thing there. But I feel like they're just doing it over and over again. We're going to cancel factions 1 week. Oh, we're going to raise the prices on PlayStation the next. Oh, we ain't done on that? Yeah, that subscription service that some of you use and some of you not, instead of making it cheaper or, giving it more value, we going to raise that shit up. You get 30% pay more. You get 30%.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro. I'll cut you off. Go ahead.
Now, I would say it was one thing though that these guys that's in the chat that's mentioning, well, the Xbox Series S went up $50. Is one thing you guys are forgetting. They're still making the white Xbox Series S.
They are.
The digital PS5, the Slim, they are replacing the ones that's out there now. Like once they run out of stock.
If they gave you that black Xbox Series S with the more additional for the same price as the S and just sold them both. I get it. They're going to make that little extra money if they can. But I do think like logically for the Series S, because let's be real here, if you playing on the Series S, you got problems. It would be nice. Because if you really think about it real quick, Forte,
go ahead.
Like I literally just downloaded, I can't remember what game it was, but it was like 140 gigs. I think it was Forza. You download that game in Fortnite, you done. That's all you download.
You done, bro. You done.
How let me ask y'all this, because this is how I always felt. I always felt like the reason they didn't make as many of the digital PS5s is because they were losing money on it. They knew they were losing money on it.
I agree.
They knew they were losing money, so that's why they did. They just had it out there as an option to say we have this version of a system that you could get, so they could say $399 out the base. This is them basically coming back and saying, okay, well, we sold systems already. We're not going to lose money on our digital system anymore. Here, it's going to be the price that it probably was going to be ultimately at the beginning of the generation.
100%.
And they said, we're going to charge you for it now, which is smart. Which is smart, because I believe a lot of companies should do that. If you are an early adopter, you should be able to get whatever it is at that cheaper price. Now that system is established, they're going to get you for everything.
I don't even think it's that. I think that Xbox and PlayStation both spent way more money during the pandemic to get those systems manufactured than we think.
Oh, I agree with that.
Because I was told that PlayStation, especially Xbox, was dropping millions just to prioritize chips.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, Xbox, it does look like, they raised their prices to some degree. But PlayStation is like, look, man, we don't got that Xbox money. I'm going to need that back. Here's an IOU,
Well, I mean, just look at
I'm going to need you to send $9.99 to this address. It's got to be all in ones. And I need you to send it to this address every month on the 5th. Well, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, their numbers just didn't work with the $400 price point anymore. Even if they'd kept it at $400, if you charge somebody $80 for the drive, that's still $50 less. That would be like a better deal. And then buy the drive separately, but they don't want to lose money. So that just kind of lets you know where their profit line really is. It's like, okay, your profit line on this system is already marginable. and you're saying that, okay, well, we're going to raise this one on the bottom end more because we know we're going to sell more of that one. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can do anything you want. It's their console. People are going to buy it regardless of whatever we say. But it's just interesting. Like, first thing I saw when I said, I was like, yo, they're charging $50 more for a system that they're not changing. They're not changing anything, really. They're just giving you the ability to buy a disk drive. They're giving it another spot to be able to hold a disk drive later. So, and then they're readily making all your plates you bought before, you can't even use those anymore. So now all the stuff that comes out later, you have to buy the new plates. So guess what?
They're gonna sell you the same plates just for
the same color.
Instead of 2.
So anybody that went out and did this, and I was like, shout out to BG. I was listening to BG's video. BG was like, he said, I got a digital and I got a physical. I don't know which one I want to get rid of. And I'm screaming at the screen like, BG, don't get rid of either of them. What for? Just keep the one you have. Like, I was interested in getting the slim PlayStation 5, just say, okay, I want a smaller PlayStation 5 because it is smaller. But the route that they went in doing it just makes me not want to do it.
Yeah.
But, I feel
Let me ask you guys this though. Like, what if you have the urge to, if you got a new like PS5 Slim and you had the urge to stand it up vertically?
You gotta pay $30.
So I told you, man, that $9.99 I want to hear every 5th of the month, and it gotta be in one. It gotta be one. That's very important. Look, man, I can't get rid of my PlayStation because that's what I currently use to work out with. So, I'm stuck with it. All right. It's my curls. All right. I need it for them curls. Those gains are important. Health is wealth, all that stuff. Don't get it wrong. You do that about 10, 15 times with that PlayStation, man. It gets you. Man. Well, at the end of the day, when it comes to PlayStation, it's like they've clearly full of it. They're full of themselves right now. And, if you guys don't see it at this point, you're not paying attention, and maybe you just don't care.
Dog, they literally gave you the stand that 90% of the people don't want.
And
that's the stand they gave you in the box.
I don't even use the stand.
They literally, that's what they did.
Let me get these super chats. We got to find out a $2 super chat from Spartan661. The new PS5 Slim is going to overheat faster. MMW. What's MMW stand for?
Modern Warfare. I don't know. What is that?
I don't know what MMW. I have no idea.
Make me wow.
Good.
I don't know. What's up, Spartan 661? How you doing, brother?
$5 super chat from the Angry Therapist. If they go all digital, these consoles better be cheaper. I doubt it, my dude. Yeah. I doubt it. They know you're gonna pay for it. They say they're gonna do it. Unfortunately,
that's true.
$5 super chat from Cowboy.
Call Weeb. Yep.
Call Weeb. So they did all that work to make sure you can use your old game disc backwards compatible with all digital. That makes no sense. They'll have both. I think he's talking about when we were saying, that Xbox Series X will probably be like the only digital console.
Oh,
I personally feel like they'll probably support both. That's just me.
Yeah. Hope so.
We got a $2 super chat from the Angry Therapist. They paying Bobby to leave. Hopefully.
You already got a golden parachute.
Sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes people they stubborn. $20 super chat from Face 2. How does he want me to pronounce?
BKNY.
BKNY.
Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, Face 2, Brooklyn, New York. I'll say.
Get out of here.
Tom Henderson. So he forgo everything. He leaked right so PS5 Pro is coming next year. And if it's $4.99, even $5.99 with more power, not going to be a good look for Xbox next year.
Hey, yo, who was this guy, son? Who was this dude, son?
Son?
I'm dead ass, B.
I'm dead.
Who was this guy, son?
I'm dead ass, B.
I'm dead ass, son. Word up.
Someone said, is that Addict's real voice? We got the list 22 with the member chat, been a member for 32 months, man. That's amazing. Conspiracy to raise the price beginning of gen. Disc versus digital was 10 out of 1. Now digital versus disc will be 10 to 1, forcing people to buy the disc drive at $80. Actually, I have a conspiracy too, and maybe it's a lot more similar. I think people will say, oh, they're going to sell them both. I think they're eventually going to start not making as many PS5 physicals and getting the digitals. So when you go out to get it, so you have to get it. Because if you look at it, they're getting 50 if you buy that physical.
I agree.
If you have to get the disc tray, they're going to get 80. They're artificially raising the price of the PlayStation.
That makes sense.
By $30. And guess what? They can sell it as an accessory, and accessories got a 40 to 60% attachment rate when it comes to revenue, profit.
Right, accessories.
Got a $2 super chat from Dragon Knight 77. Either Sarah Bond or maybe Lulu will be in control.
Hey, Lulu been capping, man. She was capping for a long time over the last 2 years, so she definitely deserves it.
Got a $5 super chat from Rain G4. Question: how big will the new PS5 boxes be?
That's a good question.
It's funny. It's the same price. They didn't want to make anymore, so it's like you open it and it's like a box, like it's like a little. Because they had like egg cartons kind of in it. It's
they still put them egg cartons.
It's one in another.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You talking about the PS. I'm still looking for the dude that sold me my damn PS5. Shit, spend all that money for my PS5. What? I need to find that dude. As soon as I find him, I'm gonna have some words with him.
You need to find that guy.
Sony has taken a stand.
That's a good one. That's taking a stand. They did. They said you get one stand and not both.
Oh, that almost killed me. He almost assassinated me.
That's the homie Rain G4, man.
That's a good one, bro. Good one, man.
Okay. My head is feeling better. Spartan661 with the $2 super chat. I can make a stand for a PS5 Slim with scrap wood.
Hey man, y'all being mean to the PlayStation 5.
We got a $20 super chat from God Emperor Sofa King. I actually love that name. That's dominant name, man. I like that.
Yeah, it is.
Ponies are down bad, and PS is down. Bad Jim lying, crying, forced into retirement. Jim Ryan got the boot. Bungie getting sued. Factions canceled. 40% price increase for PS5 hacked twice, and now charging them dudes more for less.
Man, it's the Apple way, man.
Oh, I love this.
The Apple
$2
way.
super chat from Spartan661.
Mark my words.
MSU stands for Mark My Words.
That's what it means. We thought it meant modern warfare.
I was about to say when I said modern war, I was like, no, that don't make sense. Shout out to you, Spartan. Mark my words.
Yeah, appreciate it. So I think that's pretty much all. We don't really have to go too much into that. We've already been an hour and 37. Once again, I want to apologize for starting late. Forte.
Yo,
where can the people find you at?
Oh man, Gaming Forte, YouTube and Twitter. DPS podcast tomorrow night. It'll be actually on my channel tomorrow night with the homie Slow Mo. We're gonna have Autumn on, one of the really cool people from our community to talk about Forza. Because she's huge into Forza, so we're gonna be really talking about that tomorrow. And you come watch me make fun of Slow Mo like I always do every week, and he'll try to make fun of me.
Successful at it.
Exactly. Be successful at it. But make sure you come through, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on that, and make sure you definitely go check out my man Dirt. I love him, and I'm the one that he's looking for that sold him that PlayStation 5.
Yeah, man. I got footage, man.
I'm not taking it back either.
And Dirt, where can the people find you at, man?
Hey, man.
Both of you spam your stuff in the chat.
Yeah, spam it, man.
Spam? All right.
Excuse me. So, yeah, guys, check out my channel. I have a podcast tomorrow. One Man, Dark Man, have some fun. I actually saw somebody blame Xbox for PlayStation's digital price increase. I think it's one of the Forte homies. It's kind of crazy.
He said he what?
Like one of your homies blame Xbox not being enough competition, so that's why Sony raised the price of their PlayStation Slim Digital.
Hey man, you got to do something.
I guess there would be some truth behind that, but the problem with that is that could literally be used against anything. Like if literally with that logic, you can blame everything wrong in the world on Disney. because they don't feel like no one's their competition.
Bro, nah, there's no truth to that. He's just flat out blaming Xbox for everything. Come on, man.
The reason I was saying there is some form of truth to that, because if Sony doesn't feel like Xbox is a competition to them, they would feel more comfortable doing this dumb shit.
It's crazy because Jim Ryan was crying all of 2022. I don't know.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
We can't recover.
$2 from Face Brooklyn, New York. Don't care for the Slim getting the PS5 Pro next year. That's the one thing people don't remember. You know, if they're increasing the standard ports, how much is that Pro going to be?
$599, bro. Telling you now.
Then we got the $5 super chat from God Emperor Suffer King. PlayStation looked like Spider-Man at the end of Marvel Infinity Wars after the Thanos slap.
Snap. I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stop. I don't feel so good.
All right, so Dirt, is that all you got to say to?
That's it, man. I've been working on my ABK is official video. I have to say, I've been having a bunch of receipts. Because after the CMA blocked, I kind of thought I might have to delete these receipts. But of course,
you might have to delete these receipts and start looking for your own. Yeah, we're going straight from offensive to now. I gotta defend my receipts.
Listen, man. I'm looking forward to Dirt's video because the one thing I like the most about his video is when it's one of those agenda videos like this one will be.
Yeah,
it always has like a whole bunch of screenshots and the music playing. And
you already listen. You already know
it drops to the beat of whatever he got on the screen. I be looking forward to it. I do it, so I'm glad that you're still making one because I already know what it's gonna be.
You already know,
first
man.
First minute and 30 seconds gonna be nothing but receipts on the screen.
All right, so
already know.
I'm sending you guys over there to fame at Level 1 podcast, Level 1 Gaming. I call it Level 1 Podcast. They got their whole branding revolved around Level 1. Go over there, Addict Raid. I don't know how you want to say it. Addict Show Raid. Go over there. Even if you can't sit around for a while, because I know you guys already been here for like an hour, forward it.
Just hit the like button if you go over there.
Go there, hit that like button, and then, tell Maddox sent you. Addict, Dirt, and Forte. Actually, just say that Addict Show sent you. I appreciate it for coming through, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, Forte, that's pretty